incredible pleasure to see you all this morning. It's just so wonderful to see this chamber so filled with the future of this country right here. I'm going to keep my remarks very short here because I look very much forward to hearing as many questions as we can fit into this next half hour. I know there's a lot of issues on people's mind, but I want to address right off the top the fact that we've seen in the news over the past number of weeks a number of people with questions about disagreements within the Liberal Party. And I need to know and I need to tell you that this is part of what politics needs to be about. Hearing different voices, listening, learning from each other, growing together, and figuring out a path forward. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be simple, and quite frankly, it's never going to be obvious what is the right path or how to do things. We always have to keep true to our values, true to our approaches, and try and figure out the best way forward as we move forward in a respectful, responsible way. There is never going to be an absolute one side or another. There are always going to be multiple voices we have to listen to. And one of the things that we have in an occasion like this, to gather from every corner of the country like this, is an opportunity to listen to each other, an opportunity to ask each other questions, and an opportunity to figure out the path forward. I know nobody in here wants to have to pick who to believe between Jody Wilson-Raybould and Chrystia Freeland. Nobody wants to know that one person has to be right and another person has to be wrong between Jane Philpott or Miriam Mosaf. There are always going to be a range of perspectives that we need to listen to, but ultimately diversity, as we see right here in this room, diversity only works if there is trust. And within a team, when that trust gets broken, we have to figure out how to move forward. So I appreciate the patience everyone has had while we're working through this internally. But I also know there's a lot of really big things that we need to continue to work on, and we will. Things like reconciliation, as we've moved forward in real, meaningful ways on creating proper partnerships and engaging responsibly with Indigenous peoples right across this country as we empower them to determine their path forward. We've moved forward significantly on fighting to protect our environment and grow the economy at the same time. We've moved significantly on international leadership on a broad range of things that matter both to us here in Canada and around the world. And of course, relevantly this morning, we've moved significantly and will continue to move significantly on leadership on gender equality. We know that there is always a lot more to do. We know that for everything we've done, from pay equity to a gender-balanced cabinet to international development policy that is fundamentally feminist in its approach, to things like the Canada Child Benefit, to things like a national housing strategy that puts 25% of the focus on housing for women. We know there's always more to do, and it's people like you here in this room who are going to be leading us in that in the coming decades. And that's why I'm so deeply grateful to be here and so very much excited to take your questions. I want to recognize that there are people without whom we wouldn't be able to be here today altogether, specifically Rosemary Spears, the founder of Equal Voice. There have been people fighting for opportunities like this for a long time, and you will know that I will continue to remain an ally and a strong voice for the opportunities that we need as a society for you to all have as we move forward. I want to also recognize, I think the Right Honourable Kim Campbell is here. Kim, it's wonderful to see you here, and thank you for all your leadership on this issue.